oh, sex for him is like donuts for me. Okay, that sounds really like, that's the best analogy I can come up with. Sorry, guys.
"13 more days till we climb Mount Rainier." Oh my gosh, look what I just found. Dude, these are so awesome. Dude, Cammy would kill me if I brought these home. Might be worth it. You guys feel ready for the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You feel ready for the mountain?
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I feel ready. It's gonna be a lot harder than I think it is, probably. A little early for your nap.
This is our first day with our new roast. This coffee this morning is really good.
I know I'm a compassionate person by nature, but then there's these things that I'm really not compassionate. And one of them is with Ben and sex, and when he wants that or wants to be sexual with me, I put that in this other category, like, oh, no, you'll be okay, honey. It's okay. It's not a very compassionate response. I don't usually have a very compassionate. That's something that I'm trying to work on. Is putting myself in his shoes. The best analogy I can come up with is if I really want some donuts, and today is Monday, and I know on Thursday I'm gonna get some donuts, and I'm pretty excited about this. So Monday rolls around, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm so excited about these donuts. Thursday rolls around, and guess what? I don't get my damn donuts. And I am crushed. I'm really disappointed. As anyone would be, not with donuts, but like if you think something's gonna happen that you really want and really desire, and then it doesn't happen, or there's a roadblock, then you get disappointed. But that actually helped me understand, like, oh, I'm kind of being a jerk. Like, I'm not being very compassionate to where he's at, because for some reason I think sex and his sexual needs and desires should just be put in this other category, that they don't matter as much. He should just buck up. And I don't think that's true. And I want to start believing more that his desires and wants and his needs are just as important as mine, regardless of what they are. When I start relating to him more that way, it's gonna make for a much better marriage. There's something in me, whether it be my woundedness from my past, how I was brought up, that really discounts sexual desires, wants, needs for my husband.
And we've come to learn that that actually is an independent variable from me having an overemphasis on sexual desire or needs.
It'd be easy to hear me, and especially probably if you're a woman and have some of my same woundedness of like, well, that husband of hers needs to buck up and needs, sure, yes, of course. But that's what I've learned in 12 steps is I should be working on my own stuff and not try to work my husband's stuff or program. Is kind of how we put it.
Did you see this comment? Shit. Do y'all ever just compromise? Ben, just do something for your wife. Her saying Ben was right, literally, all the time, is so destructive. Can't she do something right? Ever?
Ow!
Yes, she can. Jeez.
Amy, thanks for your comment. Ben does have a stronger personality, so yeah, maybe he gets his way more often. The way I see it is Ben's weaknesses and strengths are no worse or better than my weaknesses and strengths. One may look better on the outside. Both Ben and I are trying to work on our weaknesses. Ben's weakness is maybe thinking he's right too often. But I have a weakness too, and that is I'm not asserting myself when I need to, and when I need to speak up, I'm not speaking up because I'm afraid. And I actually think that's just as much of a weakness as someone being arrogant and overconfident. That's probably not a popular belief, but I actually believe that that can be just as damaging and destructive.
I think compromise is important and valuable, but for our marriage or family, it's not the highest value or most important thing. Love and service and selflessness are. And Cammie and I, we believe that we have different roles in this marriage, and I'm actually responsible for more than she is. And that doesn't make either of us more valuable or less valuable. It just means that we don't approach every single decision as like, oh, 50-50.
Another really cool thing that I believe that really helps me in this area is I believe I have a God who I call my father, who actually is watching out for me in my marriage even. And feel really blessed that my husband is trying to walk with God, and because of that, I actually don't have to protect myself or make Ben listen to me, because over time I've seen that God is working on him. What that has looked like is that his heart has softened towards me and has realized that he has problems with thinking he's right and bowling over my opinion. And our marriage looks really different now than it did 16 years ago when it started. He respects my opinion way more. He listens to me way more. So that, to me, is actually where I want to rest. That I actually don't have to fix Ben. I don't have to change him. I don't even have to change myself. There's a God that's working behind the scenes on me and on him and making us more who we were created to be. One last thing I wanted to say, Amy, because your comment brings up a good point. There's a lot of things that we could show on our vlogs, but one of the things that we have committed to showing is our struggles. Are there times when I'm right and Ben's wrong? Yes, definitely. But that's not a struggle of mine when I'm right. A struggle is when I don't really want to listen to what I know is right. And sometimes that comes from my husband. So we choose to show you those struggles. And there's a lot of things we don't show. Ben and I make countless decisions every single day that you don't see, where he goes with what I say, or I go with what he says, or we compromise. But rarely do they get time on the vlog because we're choosing to share things that we feel will help other people. And a lot of times what helps other people is for them to see your own struggles. And it's not easy because I would rather show something that I know is more palatable for people. But at the end of the day, I know that this is what we should be doing.
I spent almost 3 hours working on my Tattoo Tuesday intro.
How are you?
And I don't even really like it. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel right to me. But it's time
For Q&A.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
It's me, Bethany, asks, do you have any advice for newlyweds? My husband and I just got married in June. Bethany, congratulations. Our advice to newlyweds is to find an older couple that you look up to and go to them and ask for advice or mentorship. Don't isolate yourself and try and figure it out all alone. Mm-hmm. Bear Mama asks, how do you plan on handle your kids dating? And then she says, appreciate you, Crawfords. Love from Arkansas. Love from Kentucky to you.
We're not into trying out romance before our kids are married, which practically means that they wouldn't be alone with someone from the opposite sex.
Making out. Friendship is king. Garrett, our climbing partner, asks, what do you do when one of your kids doesn't follow specific directions on a regular basis? We approach this with a belief that following directions is important. It's going to be important in your job. It's going to be important with your future relationships. It's important with your parents and for safety and family right now. So we like to communicate that to the kids. Instead of just making it about laundry or making it about us getting our feelings hurt or getting offended, we think it's an important thing for kids to learn, and we want them to know that. Mm-hmm. And from there, if talking doesn't work, we use consequences. Consequences is way more than spanking. It can be saying, hey, if you don't put the laundry away, you're gonna clean up the entire laundry room, and it's gonna take you an hour. So I hope you choose the other way, but if you don't, we're gonna be doing things that will help you learn this because it's important.
What I try not to do is I try not to do it for them. That's a pretty basic thing, but you'd be surprised how often I've had to hold myself back.
Amara0624 asks, why did you decide to start vlogging?
We wanted to bring hope to people who have lost hope in family.
Lindsay16 asks, do you get worried about sharing so much personal information on the internet, safety-wise?
Only when I think about weird scenarios and freak myself out, but generally, no.
The worst thing that can happen is someone steals our stuff and then kills us. And I'm not really worried about that. Eric Andrade, 1991, asks, how did you know you didn't have a gambling addiction? I didn't. In fact, I spent a lot of time trying to figure that out.
If you can walk away from it, generally speaking, you probably aren't addicted to it. You had no problem walking away from it.
All right, fair enough. OKI Dreams asks, what if your kids don't want to do the vlog anymore? I picked up on a lack of enthusiasm from them in your 200th episode. Does anyone have the option to call it quits?
That was a bad day. And yeah, we do.
We all have bad days. Dove was having a bad day. Our kids know that they have the option to quit the vlog personally. They don't have to be in it. And if they contest it, we will actually quit as a family, any one of them. But it's gonna take more than just one day, because there's days and weeks we wanna quit it. Okay, thank you guys, everyone, for the questions. There was a lot this week. Sorry if yours didn't get published on this video, but we're trying to keep them to 13 minutes. We're heading out to dinner tonight to go on a date night with our friends.
One cool thing about schedules, putting things that bring you life on a schedule, is today I was just thinking, man, this is a little bit of a tough day, and then I thought, oh, I get to go on a date tonight and go out to a restaurant and eat dessert. I'm excited.
I thought she was gonna say hang out with me.
Well, that's what I am implying. I realize that I'm passive aggressive when dessert is an option, and I want to be aggressive tonight. So I told Ben, I'm gonna have dessert tonight.